We had some good news come out of Texas. Now, listen, I am still a firm believer that Texas is not going to flip blue. I will believe Texas is blue or has flipped blue when I see an election map and Texas is blue. The gap has been narrowing in Texas. Don't get me wrong. And we're going to talk about some good news coming out of Texas, but I'm not we're going to flip this seat guy or this state guy. I still don't see it happening, but good news nonetheless. First, we have this headline. Democrat Christian Menefee wins special election for U.S. House seat in Texas. Democrat Christian Menefee won a Texas U.S. House seat in a special election Sunday that will narrow Republicans' already slim majority, telling President Trump that the Democratic district topples corrupt presidencies. Menefee, the Harris County attorney, prevailed in a runoff against Amanda Edwards, a former Houston City Council member. He will replace the late Representative Sylvester Turner, a former Houston mayor who died in March of 25. In addition to the Houston area race, there was a special election in North Texas, Tarrant County, for a state Senate seat. We will talk about that in just a moment. This seat that we're talking about now, representing the heavily Democratic Houston-based district, had been vacant for nearly a year. Texas GOP Governor Greg Abbott didn't schedule the first round of voting until November. Menefee and Edwards were the top vote getters in a 16-candidate all-parties primary. They advanced to a runoff because no candidate won the majority of the vote. Then, in that other story I was just mentioning and referring in that article there, Democrats flip Texas state Senate seat in shock upset. The first seat, the special election that I talked about, that was a Democrat that held that seat. It's one of the reasons why Greg Abbott most likely dragged his feet in holding a special election, because it meant another Democratic vote in the House of Representatives. This, on the other hand, wasn't a Democratic seat. Democrats scored a stunning upset on Saturday in a special election runoff for Texas Senate, according to a projection from Decision Desk HQ, giving the party a major boost ahead of the November midterms. Fort Worth Democrat Taylor Remmett, a machinist and Air Force veteran, defeated Southlake Republican Lee Wamskans, I don't know if I'm saying that right, to fill the vacant state Senate District 9 seat. The district favored President Trump, who endorsed Wamganis, or however you say her name, earlier on Saturday, by 17 points in 2024. The race went to a runoff after none of the candidates were able to clinch a majority in the November election. Remmett's overperformance in the fall stoked concerns for the GOP and a number of prominent party leaders, including Greg Abbott, who intervened in the race in an effort to boost Wamganis, whatever the fuck her name is, Lee. Anyway, this was that endorsement they were talking about from Donald Trump. Today is the day to all voters in Texas's 9th state Senate district. Get out and vote for a phenomenal candidate, Lee, however the fuck you pronounce her name. She is a highly successful entrepreneur and an incredible supporter of our movement to make America great again. My very good friend, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, needs a strong conservative Republican in SD9 to keep Texas red. The radical left Democrats are spending a fortune to beat a true MAGA warrior, Lee Wamgastas. You can win this election for Lee, who has my complete and total endorsement. Polls close at 7 p.m. Get out and vote for Lee. Find your closest polling location here. Lee will never let Texas or the USA down. So, the first story was about a seat that had been held vacant for almost a year because they didn't want another Democratic vote in the House of Representatives, and a Democrat ultimately prevailed once the election was held. And the other one was about a Democrat prevailing in a district that favored Trump by 17 points in 24. 17 points. And the Democrat won. Despite Trump's complete and total endorsement, here's the bottom line of what everything we're seeing so far means. With all of the elections that have been held over the course of the last year and a half in Virginia and New York and various state and county, state and federal levels throughout the country, Republicans keep getting their ass whooped. And they keep getting their ass whipped in really, really, really red areas of the country, or in seats that are historically red. down in Miami. I mean, it just keeps happening over and over and over again, and this happened again in Texas. Now, once again, that doesn't mean I think that Texas is going to flip blue, but what it does signal is that if Republicans don't get their head out of their ass, and I mean like yesterday, and jettison Trump from their party, signal that they don't agree with what the hell he's doing, they are going to get fucking smoked in the midterms. We are less than 11 months away from an election that's going to determine the entire makeup of the House of Representatives. And is this the 2/3 year? I believe it is 2/3 of the Senate. Donald Trump is out there endorsing candidates, and they're getting their asses kicked in heavily Trump-leaning areas of the country. That's not a good sign for Republicans. So, I like what I'm seeing. I'm hoping it's a fucking blue wave. I'm hoping it's a blue tsunami. I'm hoping that the voters show up in enough numbers that they send a message to Donald Trump that says, listen, we understand you're the president for the next 2 years, but we rebuke everything you're doing, and these motherfuckers are going to go put you in check for the last 2 years of your presidency. And I think that these results are being seen because of Donald Trump, because of the shit he's doing. People are done with the Republican Party for now.